We are two cosmetology educators with big opinions, big laughs, and a whole lot of love for the industry. Welcome to Oh Hair Now. I'm Liz,
I'm Katie.
and today we're going to talk about us and our guests, what you can expect from us on our podcast, and how we got into this industry and why we love it. Katie, I'll let you start off with our toast.
Yeah, so we're going to start every episode with a toast. So our toast today is to new adventures. Zero clue what we're doing, but fully committed.
Amen.
Cheers.
We're drinking mimosas today because it's a Saturday morning. This is
Yes,
the only time we have to do this.
correct.
So why don't you start off, Katie?
Yeah, so Liz, why did you choose cosmetology?
It is something that I've always been passionate about since I was a child. I cut all of my little expensive collector doll's hair. My mom would flip out. I cut my little sister's bangs. So it's just something I've always been passionate about. My mom went to cosmetology school and she did our hair every day for school. You know, my dad owned clothing stores. Style and fashion was always in our family. And then from there, my aunt was a big part of it too. My Aunt Sally, she was one of the only people besides my mom to do my hair for a million years. And she raised her two boys. Little salon she had in her garage as a single mom. And
Aw,
yeah, it was cool. And so, you know, it was just kind of in me. And when I found out I could take a program in high school, I was so excited because my parents really didn't push me towards college. My mom wanted me to get pregnant and married and give her some grandbabies. So, you know, I was kind of seeking out my future on my own, and that was free. So I started school when I was 15 years old. And when I graduated at 18, I had my cosmetology license.
that's amazing. Was it paid for by the school?
Yeah, I paid for my book. I think it was $50 maybe.
That's awesome.
I know, it was awesome. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
I
I
wish
kick myself for not doing the high school program.
Yeah, and they're kinda going away, which is sad.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are, but they're not lucrative for the school.
No, it's
And
hard for
yeah.
that 2 years, and the little amount of money counties and states give towards those programs
Hmm.
is very limited, so
Well, and that just goes to show you that it's like a nationwide thing that teachers are underpaid because that's what they're willing to give a school, even though our prices are
exactly.
much higher that we charge
Yeah.
because that's what it's
Yeah,
worth.
because the
But
product alone and the books, and
yeah,
I don't even know how they pay their instructors after
yeah,
everything.
yeah. I don't, you would
So
have to have like 30 plus people in the class to make it.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. How about you?
So, cosmetology was not my first choice. I come from a family. Okay, first of all, I graduated with two of my cousins. They both went to the Math and Science Center, and I was on the dance team
Yes.
and just living my best life in high school, not really caring. Like, I cared about school, but my social life was much more important to me. And I thought dance was I'm
Oh,
like,
wait.
I'm going to move to LA and be a choreographer. Joke's on me. So, anyways, I was like, well, I got to live up to all these people that are biochem engineers, and my mom's a lawyer, and
Right.
all these professionals. So I'm like, well, I am really good at marketing. I did some marketing classes in high school, so I kind of went that route. Got pregnant at 19, but I'm a hustler, so I worked
Yeah.
two jobs. Still was in college. I was working at a call center as like a sales rep at one point, and I was selling pest control. And I was like, I'm going to cosmetology school. Like literally, it was just I was doing it. I told my boss, who is my uncle, and
What was it just a random thought you had?
so I had thought about it before, but I just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't seem like something that I should do just because
Sure.
go to college. Like,
That's a
my
stigma.
gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And especially when you grow up with everyone else going to college and
Yeah.
getting degrees, and then already being the black sheep in the family, having a kid at such a young age, not married, all the things. I just feel like I needed to live up to, and I've always in my head felt like I needed to prove to people and myself that I'm worthy. And to me, I don't know why, but it's not that it wasn't worthy to do this field, but I'm like, well, I'm going to make six figures. I'm going to work in an office. I'm going to do all these things. And I just didn't like it. Like I was already doing those things a little bit and I didn't like it. I just kind of was like, I truly don't know. I think maybe it was just that I loved the feeling that I got when I went to the salon.
Right.
And I think that might have been it. And then I also saw the amount of money I was paying my hairdresser to do my hair.
Yeah. It's
And
that.
I'm like, maybe I could make some money. And so when I told my boss, like, hey, I'm done in 6 weeks, I signed up for classes. I signed up and I quit, or I dropped before I started once because my uncle's like, this isn't for you. Like, you're going to work all your nights, all your weekends. You're not going to make any money. There was also that stigma of going to just like the little chop shops and doing $15 haircuts
Sure.
all day or something.
Yeah.
And that's what my dad and my uncle both kind of thought.
Yeah.
And so I didn't do it. And then once I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to say screw it to everybody. And I did it. And the rest is history. I
Did it.
didn't look back. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So how many hairs? How many years were you behind the chair?
Wow. Let's see. I
Long
started
time.
in 1991, and then once I had kids, I went to like a couple days a week, and I did that for a while. Um, and then
Which is awesome that you have that
yeah, it
flexibility doing this.
was great.
Really.
It was
Yeah.
great. I never missed anything. I was always at everything.
Mhm.
And then as things progressed in my life and changed, I felt I needed to just change it up a little bit. And I felt a divorce was on the rise, and I felt like I needed some insurance and
Mm.
in benefits, ultimately for myself. So I got into the medical field. I went to school, and while I was in school, that divorce happened. And it was funny. I felt like I couldn't finish school when I got divorced because getting a divorce is like a full time job. So I went back to what I know and I went back to doing hair. And I did that just for a hot second. And then I met my husband now and decided to move to Michigan. And when I moved to Michigan, that's when I ended up finishing school before I moved. And then once I got here, I was a medical assistant for a position in town here. And then I also worked for an ONMM. And from there, it was right before COVID. And I didn't know what to do. I
Yeah.
was just kind of in this limbo thing. And I'm like, I don't know anyone here. I don't
Mhm.
want to do hair. I don't want to rebuild my clientele. I've always wanted to get into instructing.
Mhm.
So, to answer the question, I mean, I would say I did hair from 1991, and I will go off and on for a few years there, until about 2010. No, 2011 probably.
So like 20 years.
Yeah. And then after that is when it's kind of when
Mhm.
once I got up here, things changed, and then that's when other things happened.
Yeah.
We'll get into it, but yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome. So why did you choose to become an instructor after 20 years behind the chair and then doing the
Yeah.
medical thing for a while?
I had always wanted to get my instructor's license. I
Mhm.
had tried 3 times before back in Indiana. I tried, when I was really young, probably 2021. I was trying to get my instructor's license. Weird things happened. 2 of the school owners, one was in Kokomo, Indiana, one was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. They were sleeping together. Um, well, one was a director and one was an owner, and they were sleeping together. That
At two
this
different schools.
But they were the same schools, just different. They had
Oh,
multiple locations,
right.
and it got weird,
Yeah.
and so I stopped. I just stopped. I'm like, "I can't do this." Then when I went to Fort Wayne and, I was like, "I'm getting it finally." Well, I was
Mhm.
at that same school, but that man that was sleeping with that woman was gone, so I thought, "I'm safe," right?
Mhm.
I was not safe. One of his brothers burnt the school down, so we didn't have a school anymore. Yeah. And then
That's
so then I went to
insane.
another school in Fort Wayne, and then
Wait, I didn't know there was another
there
story
was
after the
3.
fire
There was
story.
3.
Okay.
3 times I tried. That time, the, that school, somebody was laundering money,
Oh, that's right.
and it
Yeah.
shut down. And so then, um, I didn't get my and then that was also 9/11. It was like
Mhm.
right around when 9/11 happened. And I was pregnant with Sam. And I was just, I don't know. I was like, this isn't in the cards. This just wasn't meant to be right now. I just need to give it up. So then COVID happened. And uh, a little school opened up by where I was living at the time, and I sold my Tahoe and paid for my schooling and got my instructor's license. While I was at that school, I realized I could do this.
'Cause you essentially helped her start up her business.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
felt very confident in my abilities at
right.
that point. And one of my son's friend's mom would come in there and get her lashes done. And she's like, "What are you doing when you graduate?" And I'm like, "I really don't know where I want to teach at or
Mhm.
anything." She's like, "Why don't you open your own school, Liz?" It's all it took. Literally, a light went off on my head. I started, like, literally that day, like, crunching numbers and writing things down and figuring out a location and like an area. And I'm like, oh my God. I went home and I talked to Ron, and Ron kind of did the same thing. And he's like, I think it was like within a week or two, we were looking at places to buy to put the school in. I was still in school when we bought the building, and we had to do a lot of work to the
Yeah,
building, more than we anticipated. But that I graduated, we bought the building in January and the school opened that August.
that's amazing.
So yeah, it was very fast, but everything fell in our lap. It was easy. It was like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
We moved to Marshall from Charlotte, and
What's meant to be will be. I've
it just
always
worked.
said
It
that. It's
worked.
crazy.
It's been a struggle,
And when you
we've
know, you know. Yeah, exactly.
but, I mean, we've had a roller coaster of
Mm.
things personally and with the school and growing pains. We're still growing, having a lot of growing pains, but,
If you don't have growing pains, though, then you're not growing. So,
yeah, it's good. It's a good thing,
yeah,
but
I need to remind myself more of that
yeah,
when we're in the middle of it.
yeah, yeah, so it just all kind of just fell into place.
Yeah.
When did you think you wanted to start? Like, well, let's talk about like you. Like, so your time behind the chair, and when you decided like I want to teach.
Yeah. So I was only behind the chair for 4 years. I don't know. I can't think of timelines ever. It was short. It was only like 4 years, but it was pre-COVID when I got licensed. I was working for a salon. I loved it. The owner was even talking about like me taking it over one day. So I
Yeah.
just kind of had that in the back of my mind. And with going to school for marketing, and I've just kind of always had like an entrepreneur mindset. Um, I always wanted to own my own something. So then COVID happened and she couldn't bring me back right away. She wanted to get a bigger space because I was sharing a chair with another stylist on her off days when I started. And so she didn't want to bring me back because of contamination or whatever. And so I kind of was just like left out on my own. And actually, when you say all it took is someone telling you something, a student instructor who I had when I was in school, she kind of was checking on me through everything and watching my journey. And she was messaging me. She's like, why don't you just like open a suite or something? And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I didn't think about opening something.
Yeah.
And once she did, I told my mom. My mom's like, let's do it. We set up a tour of a salon suite. So I did that. And from the day that I opened my doors, I didn't have a day off for a very long time. I was very busy. Everyone needed their hair done after
Well, it
COVID.
was post COVID. Yeah.
Yes.
There
And
was
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
people
color
quit.
correction.
Yeah. And a
Yeah,
lot of people quit.
they did. A lot of people,
And you
older
couldn't,
people retired, and a
hmm
lot of young people were like, screw this.
yeah. Well, and, there was the whole like stimulus check thing and
Oh,
the
yeah.
unemployment. So
Yeah.
if you went back to work, you weren't going to get that anymore. It was just whatever. So I was like, well, I need to build a clientele. So I'm just going to work until I can't work anymore. And that I did. But I was also raising a child at the same time. So within 3 years, I had a suite. I opened a salon with another person. That kind of didn't work out. So we went our own separate ways and went back to suites. And then my son started playing hockey. And at first it was one night a week, then it was 2 nights a week, and then it turned
It's so
into my
cute in the
entire
beginning.
life. It really is. I see the pictures and I'm like,
He's on his little ice skates,
he
and
didn't
now you're
even
like,
have
"Oh my god,
equipment.
we have hockey all weekend."
I know I'm going there after this, which I love, but I needed something that, well, okay. let me just back up to like when I had him, I was also teaching dance. So I taught dance for like 8 years. I was going to open a dance studio, and then my friend did, and I worked for her, and I was like her like right hand man. Yeah. And it was doing well and whatnot. But I had my son the night that I gave birth. I was teaching dance, and then I went to the hospital and got
Okay.
induced. A week or two, it was within 2 weeks after I had him. He was backstage. My mom was holding him, and it's recital. And then we had nationals and auditions for the next competitive season. And I'm like holding him 5, 6, 7, 8. Like I swear he has the best rhythm because I was always
That's all he
dancing.
knows.
Yeah. So I feel like he had to take like a back seat to me and my career that seemed to always be evening things, dance, hair.
Oh, yeah.
There were so many nights at the dance studio that after daycare or whatever, he was at the dance studio with me. So many nights in my salon, my lunch break that I had to force myself to take because I had to get my kid from school, or else I would have just worked through them. I went and got him from school, and then he came back to the salon with me, or my parents were watching him at night. And I wanted to have more time with him. And because of teaching dance, I've just always loved teaching. So I knew I didn't want to go get my instructor license from the school that I went to, which was one of the only in the area because it was just a hot mess. And then I was getting my hair done, and someone mentioned your school that you were opening. I
Oh, is it
found you
really?
on
I
Facebook.
never
I
knew how
was
you
getting
found
my hair
out.
done at Chris Edwards. One of the girls in there was coloring my hair, and Chris was talking about
Oh,
it.
she was?
Yes.
Yay, Chris.
And I found it on Facebook, and then I reached out, and the rest is history. I've never left. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it just kind of was like, I need to give my son his
It's
time in the
time.
evenings because it's always been me, I feel
So
like.
hard.
And it's hard to juggle that when you're a young mom. I get it. You have this battle in your head of like, I want to work and show my son that he can do anything, but then you feel selfish for that too. So
Yeah.
I needed to find my balance, and
Yeah.
now I found it. So
Yeah. Yay. And then we decided to do a podcast
yeah.
and all the things. So,
Yes.
yeah, we're still doing,
Yeah.
still all the, that's so busy.
Well, Liz, what do you love about teaching?
I think I like to see the transition in the girls,
Yeah.
or I shouldn't say girls, our students, like from the beginning when they don't know anything. We've had students that have not ever even curled their own hair come in and want to do cosmetology. And I'm like, are you high? Like, what is wrong with you? And some of those students have ended up being extremely
Amazing.
talented and really
Actually,
good.
I'll say,
Isn't that funny?
like, almost with all of my confidence that all of the students that have never done anything with hair have been
Are
like
so good.
amazing.
It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Um, it's weird, but I love watching that. I love watching them start and then finish,
Yes.
how they blossom and the confidence and just the growth that comes out of them through, I think through that confidence. I think that's huge for especially that generation because it's a weird generation that we deal with a
Well,
lot.
they had COVID during their schooling. I mean, I feel like the
It's
world changed
it's a
after that.
lot different. I feel like their expectations and our expectations are not in line. So it's been a big learning curve. Personally, I've grown a ton. Love to see the confidence come out of our students. I think that's the biggest thing is just watching them grow. I think that's what I get out of it. And it's just fun. Our
Yeah,
job is fun
it is.
most of the time.
It is.
It's a really fun and rewarding job. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. It's so fulfilling. Like, there's a lot of days when you're spent at the end of the day, but
Yeah.
you gave them your all. And I think from having kind of a rough experience through cosmetology school,
Yeah.
knowing that we're giving them such a solid foundation
Yeah.
to start in this industry, to me, that's everything because they're paying to be there. They should be getting
An education.
yeah,
Yeah.
they need to walk out of there being able to go into the salon and make money,
Or do
not
the
have to relearn
highlights, do those
everything.
things. Yeah. Because how
Yeah.
often do we hear salon owners, they're always telling us like that we have to retrain them,
Yeah.
or they have them off the floor for an entire year,
Yeah.
basically just being an assistant,
People
which
are
is
scared
ridiculous.
to hire. One of our students currently, she was telling me the other day that she has been reaching out to a salon in her area and they let her friend go, who's an amazing nail tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was showing me her work. She's
Yeah.
awesome because they want her to get more experience and then come back and then they won't hire our student who's about to graduate because of the same thing. They want her to have a year experience. And it's like salons, and I understand they're scared to hire new,
But look at the
fully
schools around us
graduated.
and what they're
Yeah.
teaching.
I mean,
It's insane. Or what they're not
correct.
teaching.
Yes. Yes. So I don't blame them. However, I do feel like they should give everyone a fair chance and maybe have some kind of a working interview so they can see that our students are standing out compared to other students from other schools because I know wholeheartedly she would do fine there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
sad.
What do you think? Like, what do you like seeing in the students? Like what? Well, I guess through teaching. Like, what is probably the most rewarding thing for you?
So I'm kind of at this stage right now with some of our students about to graduate where they come up with their plans. I'm on the floor with them a lot and my love is color and formulations. I just love it. But when they start coming to me and not like, "Hey, what are you thinking for this?" And they're telling me I'm thinking this for
Hmm.
this, and I just get to give them the go ahead. It's like, "You're ready.
Yeah.
Your wings are grown.
Yeah.
You're about to come out of your cocoon and you've got a month left." Like,
I get it.
yeah. And I love seeing that where
Yeah.
it's like you've thought through all of the things. Cause sometimes I feel like I'm like not I don't wanna shut down their ideas, but when they tell me, I wanna do this toner," and I'm like, "Well, their hair's already yellow, we don't need to add gold to it, like,
Can
we
you pull
need
that
to."
little?
Yes, exactly. So, they've now, towards the end, I'm realizing that they've picked up on all the whys, and they're applying it, and so that's where I love that, and there's a few students in particular I can think of right now that I'm like,
Yeah.
"You got this, you're gonna be good."
Yeah. They're getting it.
Yeah.
It's clicking.
Yes, for
It's
sure.
clocking.
It's clocking. God, that's hilarious. Okay, so this is a fun one. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh my gosh, I would put myself first sooner in my life. I didn't think about myself being a young person, being a mom. I devoted myself to my family, which is fine. I don't regret that. But I do wish I would have, I had no drive. I'm not going to lie. I was not a great employee. I was not a great anything when I was young. And I feel like, I don't know what switch flipped in me. I literally don't. But now I don't want to stop working. It's bizarre.
Well, you're passionate about it now, so.
Yeah, it's so weird. I wish to God I would have gotten my instructor's license younger, but I don't know that it would have been the same. I wouldn't have
Mhm.
gone, I don't think I would have a school. I
Mhm.
don't think I would have done all of the things that I'm doing now that I started at 49 years old. I was always on the back burner
Mhm.
in every aspect of my life. So I think going back in time, I would have nurtured myself a little bit more so I would be better now.
Realize your value and
Yeah,
your
because I didn't
worth.
really feel like I had any value
Yeah.
besides being a mom or a wife, and then when I wasn't a wife, that was, like, a big blow to me, like, I felt like a failure,
Mhm.
and then I hated that my kids had to have that life, so I just felt like a failure all the way around, and then
Well, I think that also of that time, because you said earlier that your mom kind of, she wanted you to
she
have
did
kids
well,
and
yeah, she had
stuff,
her thumb
so
on me a little bit, and then
and I don't think that that is a very unique situation in
right.
that time, so.
And I also but it's funny because when she passed, and my sisters will say the same thing, I don't know about my brother, but we all felt a little free in a way,
Mhm.
like we could spread our wings a little bit and do things. Not that she was always like, "You can't do that." She never was never like that, but it was weird. She just sort of had her thumb on us a little bit and,
Mhm.
like, kinda kept us where she wanted us kind of thing. She was not happy my sister and I moved to Michigan at all, but we weren't far, and she loved Michigan. She loved Traverse. They had their place in Traverse, so she was good
Mhm.
with it. but I don't think until after my mom died and I went through a lot during that time, that was when I realized my kids are like Sam was going to college, Zach was living away in Fort Wayne. And so for the first time in my life, I could do me. And COVID was really amazing for that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when I kind of just started putting my foot forward and doing me. And I've probably done a 180 since then. So it's been a crazy 6 years for me.
I know, because it's so funny. Liz will be like, I'm just so proud of you for, putting your career first or
Yeah.
you're not putting my career like before my children and my husband, but like,
That you have a career and you're
yeah.
happy for it.
And, you should be doing this for you. And
It's
this is
hard.
where I've been so career driven that I feel guilty sometimes because I've done that first before being a mom.
Yeah.
And I think when you have a kid young, you have to try to do both the best you can, but
Yeah.
you're never perfectly doing both at the same time. Where I'm like, yeah, no, it's good, but I've been doing that. So like I'm actually finding myself now where I want to be more in the mom
The
role
mom phase.
because
Yeah.
he's about to be
It
a
goes so
teenager and it's
fast.
like, oh my God, you're gonna be gone soon.
Yeah. But that's the other side of it though, is that you feel like being a mom, while it is like once you become a mom, you're a mom until the day you die.
Yeah.
But like that role never leaves you. But those children will leave you and then you're back to square one again.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that like I think most women don't understand that like while yes, this is your whole life and it's a huge, huge thing being a mom and having children, but they're gonna leave you. And then what are you gonna do then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you
That's what
should.
I didn't get
Right.
down.
Right.
Like so when Sam went away to school, and Sam will tell you, I struggled
Oh.
so hard. And he was like, Mom, I know you're doing this because you're upset that I'm away at school. And I'm like, I know I am. And he's like, and so I so appreciated that he understood that about me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna cry.
Kids will make you cry.
And that's the thing, like, and looking back now, I wish I would have been more consistent with my career to show them that in a way
Mm-hmm.
too, though, because I feel like it would have helped
They
certain
would have
things a little
understood.
bit more
Yeah.
as them being adults now to see that more. But I'm glad that they're seeing it now, at least, and being successful.
And loving what you do too.
And yeah,
Because
passionate,
I
you know,
think if it was just you working at a factory 40 hours a week, you'd be miserable and
not a happy mom
exactly.
or a happy human.
I've been listening to all these podcasts lately as we create our podcast and
Right.
some of the career driven podcasts. You're not going to always enjoy what you're doing and that's okay, but I kind of disagree with that. I think because of what I do for a living.
Yeah.
And also, life is short. We don't know when
Yes.
it's going to be over. I think you should work hard and I think you should try to get as far as you can in this
Make the
life.
best of everything you're doing.
But yeah, you should
That's
enjoy
including
it.
kids, your
I,
family,
yeah,
and your job.
yes.
Yeah.
I think if there's an end goal in mind and you're always making moves to get there, you should try to enjoy the journey along the way
Mhm.
because I'm telling you, those 35 hours a week in cosmetology school, 30 hours a week working retail. Luckily, I liked the people I was working with, so that made that job semi enjoyable. And then, being a mom and just trying to balance all that, like I knew there was an end goal in mind. And although I wasn't enjoying it in that moment, I knew I was going to enjoy it. But there could have been different things that could have made that a little bit more enjoyable in those moments. And I think that that's where I'm glad that we have a school that has the values that we do because I think we try to make the students' experience enjoyable and fulfilling. Whereas I feel like I wasn't getting that, even though I knew I was working for something bigger.
Mhm.
The school was just so toxic,
Oh,
even though we
yeah.
hate that word.
I
It
know.
truly was.
Well, the owner is.
Yeah. So,
So there's that.
but I don't really know where my tangent is going because hi, we both have ADHD. So our conversations will probably go a lot of different ways. But the point being, I think that you should just enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
And that's if I were to give myself advice when I was younger, it's don't feel like you need to figure everything out right
Start the
now.
small stuff.
Yeah, and trust the process
Hmm.
and always make little steps to get to where you want to be. Okay, so let's just talk about our podcast a little bit more.
Yeah.
Why do conversations about beauty education and our industry matter?
So I personally am really passionate about the legislative side of our industry. That is something I didn't even know I had in me until I opened up the school in 2022. I should preface that I own a cosmetology school.
Oh, yeah,
Katie is my instructor, one of my instructors. I am an instructor. It's just us two.
it is.
And we have a small boutique style cosmetology school in Michigan. We have not said that yet. And so as as we
Cue the
I
ADHD
know, as
and the mimosas.
as I've moved on in my journey with the school, I realized that there is so much going against our entire industry all the time in the background that if you aren't involved, you need to be.
Mhm.
So our industry is at risk all the time, and it has been since I started and got in cosmetology in 1991. I remember signing petitions way back then. They want to deregulate it. They want to lower the hours, all kinds of things. It's constantly changing. So to me, I wanted to raise awareness for that, just so everybody, can be aware, because I don't know how to make people aware beyond just shouting it over the airways. I
To
don't know.
everyone that
Yeah,
you meet.
yeah. Um, so I think
She's an advocate,
I try
and
to
I
be.
love that.
I try to be. I don't get far all the time, but I try to do my part and as much as I can, and I try to keep our students educated on it because they're gonna be the ones that are gonna have to carry this torch on. So
The rooms you have put yourself in and the conversations that you have put yourself in, though, is truly impressive.
thanks.
The context Liz has and the committees she's now on and all of these things, like, she's in big conversations with big names and, like, change makers. That's
And
all you.
that's kind of where you have to be, in doing it. So for me, the podcast, I really want to bring awareness to that.
Mhm.
And I feel like professionalism is lacking in our industry on so many levels. It's kind of disheartening and disgusting at times.
What is professionalism to you in our industry?
Oh gosh, people using products they go buy at Walgreens,
Mm.
products that we can't stand behind, and then using them on people and charging people for that is mind blowing to me. And then just the way we treat our clients, the way we treat this industry as maybe a backup job or
Mhm.
it's a career. If you go into it thinking that it is anything but that, you will not be successful and it will be your backup, whatever. You won't go far and you will not make a lot of money. So it's all in how you look at this industry, how you treat it and what you're willing to put into it. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. If you aren't putting a lot into it and you like, I don't want to post online because it's embarrassing, and which we hear all the time from our students. And I'm like, you know what? Don't post online. There's not going to be anyone in your chair because you only have so many family and friends. And they're not all going to come to you. And they might start out coming to you and they may not like the way you do their hair.
Yeah.
So, you can't rely on that. You have to put yourself out there. And there's so many avenues also in this industry that you can go down to create other careers too. You don't have to just stand behind the chair. I love this industry and I think it's so fun. It's just so fascinating to
It's
me.
inspiring.
It
Like,
is.
every show we go to,
Mhm.
I mean, geez, we just randomly somebody reached out to us to have a really big name, can we say it?
Yeah.
Wayne Tuggle is going to do a class at our school and our students get to be there. And I just think that's so cool that, it's just another stepping stone in their career, in our career, and just to be in the same room when the Paul Mitchell design team was in our classroom at our school brainstorming for a show. It's just like
Yeah, so fun, so
fun to be
fun.
in those rooms. And that's what keeps your fire going.
Yeah.
And I think that's why our students are going to be set apart because that's the level of professionalism you are setting for them. Truly.
Well, I mean, we both do. But it's, but I think people that know us and know our school understand where we're at with everything too. And they
Hmm.
respect that and they respect us for it. And so they're more open to be a part of it. So I think that's
Yeah.
great. But yeah, I mean, those are probably my two main things with the podcast is just making people aware of what we need to be focused on as industry leaders. And then also bringing that professionalism back and having those high expectations.
Yeah.
Stop with the mom and pop shops, it's fine, but you're not going to make much money. You're not going to get that far. And if that's all you want to do and it's just a part-time gig for you, great, but you can do much more. And so I think bringing that back and making people realize, like you said, like your dad and your uncle were like, this isn't a career. How many times do I hear that doing tours,
Yeah.
that, oh, I went to school to be a lawyer and I hated it, or I went
Hmm.
to school to be a biochemist and I hated it.
Hmm.
We're not stupid people, but this is a creative industry. And, there's not many people I've worked with that haven't made at least six figures. So it's definitely
If you
something
want it, it's
doable.
there.
Yeah,
And that's
totally.
what I think our biggest message to the students is if you
Yeah,
want it, we're going to teach you how to act. We're going to teach you the skills that you need to get started.
we
And we're
do
going to teach you how to dress, how to speak, all those things. And if you take it seriously, there's no stopping you. We have students who fight us on that.
all day long.
But, at the end of the day, they're all adults. So if they choose to take us seriously or not, that's on
Yeah.
them. But I'm going to tell you while you're here because you're paying me to tell you
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. And I'm going to
So,
give them the best advice we can possibly give
yeah,
them. And whether they choose to take that or not is on them.
yeah, for
It
sure.
was definitely there though and offered to them.
For sure.
What do you think with the podcast? Like
Well,
what are your
so I
thoughts?
think that because there's such a negative stigma about cosmetology
Mhm.
schools right now and how much every not everybody, a lot of schools are lacking with their education and experience they're giving their students. Salon owners, again, kind of like we talked about earlier with one of our students, they're not willing to give students a chance. And for those of us out there that are taking this seriously and do have high standards and are producing top notch future stylists,
Yeah.
I want to let them know that there are schools like us who still exist.
Yeah.
And there are future professionals out there who are worth hiring and giving a chance to. So I think for me, that's kind of like a bridge I would like to gap and, or a gap, a gap.
A gap you would like to
I
bridge.
don't really know.
You want to build a bridge over that gap.
Yeah, we do. And a stigma I would like to keep us out of, but also like kind of stop that talk a little bit and also to challenge schools to step it up.
Mhm.
Because if we can do it, everybody can do it,
Amen.
honestly. And you
The
just
school
have to
stepping
care.
up.
It's not,
Yeah.
you don't become an instructor because you just don't want to be behind the chair anymore, because you're going to be behind the chair a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, you're going to be doing a lot more than just your set of clients. You're going to be balancing a lot. So it mentally it's a lot more work. Maybe physically not as much, but there are some days when I'm doing just as much as I would behind the chair. So which is fine and that's why I do this, but I also do this because I want to set our students apart from other schools, I guess,
Sure.
and to show them what's possible. Because again, if we can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
It's not rocket
No.
scientists. Whoa.
Rocket
It's not.
science.
And clearly, we are not
Talking
geniuses.
smart.
I've been really struggling with talking and reading today. It's Saturday. My brain's clocked
It's
out. So, okay. Why did we decide to do the podcast? Why the name? Let's talk about that.
well, we had a whole nother name
We did.
and we drug our feet too long, I think, and everybody else
Mm-hmm.
came up with it
Yeah.
too.
I
Because
think there was what, two, at least two other
three
podcasts.
more, yeah, that had the
Yeah.
same name, and I was like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. So then Chat GPT, our buddy, was like,
We didn't
Coming
like
up with
any of their
names, but
ideas,
then
though.
Katie just popped up with this while we were going through our Chat GPT thoughts. Like, "Oh, hell no."
Yeah.
But, "Oh, hair no."
Yeah.
So, we passed it through Brenda, our, passer
Consultant.
person, and she liked it. She's like, "That's more like you and Katie."
Yeah. We're not afraid to tell
Yeah.
people when we don't agree with them, that
No.
kind of thing. So it fits us, I
Yeah.
think.
So and it's just and our podcast is kind of all over the place. Like, it's funny because we recorded quite a few already, and man, oh man, do we get into some conversations with our guests.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of editing, but,
We have 5 hours of footage with our last guest. We didn't even
we're
finish the
not done.
podcast.
We're not
It was
done.
nuts. It was like a therapy session. It was crazy.
We
So
all needed it. It was
we
good.
did. Yes.
Um, it was funny. So, yeah, so we just it fits. I think it fits.
I do too.
I think it's good. I think that
And we're doing the podcast because I think we kind of, it's touching on everything we've already said. Like, we have a
yeah,
lot of passion, we have a lot of opinions, we want to bridge some gaps, open the conversation up and be honest with different people legislatively,
yeah,
salon owners. I mean, just all of the things
yeah,
that we feel passionate about. We want to bring that to a conversation, and
yeah.
let's share our thoughts.
Hell yeah.
Hell, hair, yeah. Awesome. So, okay. What can our listeners expect? What type of guests? What topics? Goals? We kind of already touched on the goals, but I think,
Yeah. So we can kind of go over like our guests. So far, we've already talked with Chris Linford from Oozle Media and Beauty as a Business, Jamie Collins, who owns Pure Eden, Kelsey Elliott, the owner of Infinite Designs Hair Studio, and she is also a John Paul Mitchell Systems national educator, Terry Sill, a former school owner of a T spa school. This week, we're going to talk to Kara Gandy. She is a hairstylist here in town at the Beauty Bar, and she has also just launched her own consulting business called Kara Marie Consulting. And then we have Michelle and Fernando Fernandez. They own Art 22 Academy in Fort Wayne. They also own two salons called the Hair
Deepa.
Department
Oh,
and Spa. And we have Dennis Osterhart. He is a hair designer here in Michigan at D Night Designs. He is a CEO over there. And we have Gina Johnson. She is a Michigan State legislator coming on. Kristen Sayers. She is the owner of K Bella Hair Studio and Spa. She is also one of the creators of the Michigan Association of Beauty Professionals, which is an association I'm actually on the board of. She is the president, I want to say. We have many more that we're planning that is on our list. Those are kind of the ones that we have nailed down pretty much. Some of the topics we're going to hit on are going to be from the chair to the classroom, Trend Talk, that's going to be with Kelsey. The Business of Beauty is with Chris Linford. Beauty School Myths Busted is going to be with Michelle and Fernando. I don't know why that is just a tongue twister for me. The worst hair disasters is going to be one we want all of our listeners to write in and tell us your stories. That's when
I'm
Katie's
so
so excited
excited.
about. So we want you guys, and we will put links up. You guys can send us an email or message us, however you're following us, and send us your hair disasters. And then beauty balance and burnout. That was Jamie Collins. And deregulation is going to be with Gina Johnson, Kristen Sayers, sorry. So that's going to be probably a whole mini series.
Yeah.
So it's going to be that whole deregulation thing is going to be a big one. And then anything else that if you guys want to hear something, reach out to us. A discussion. If you want to be a guest on our show, reach out to us.
Yeah.
We're always looking to bring new blood in and meet new people.
We're going to do a little bit too with like our students are going to
Yeah.
they're going to write down some questions they want us to answer. And then also we're going to bring on some of our alumni
Yep.
who are working in the industry now to kind of tell us about their experience so far.
Yeah.
And so that'll be kind of cool too, I think, for any listeners that are considering cosmetology school or are just getting started in the industry. I think those will
Yeah.
be good episodes to listen to.
Yeah, yeah. And I think another good episode would be to bring on maybe a couple salon owners at one time just to talk about how that transition is for them when they bring a student in.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of a cool episode to
Hmm.
do, because that's something that I feel like, you know, is an issue right
For
now.
sure. How can you participate? So we have an Instagram, oh hair no, no exclamation point, right? Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to make us a TikTok. And then we have an email address as well. It's ohhairnoofficial@gmail.com.
Yeah.
OHHAIRNO
I don't know if you can see it.
official.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have any hair disaster stories or just like crazy behind the chair stories, send them to any of our social media accounts. Our social media accounts are pictures of us, so you'll see us on there, or you can email it to us at that email. And then we will have a TikTok soon too, where we're going to hopefully drop some, teasers and clips of different episodes. So, and then also we have a YouTube because we'll be
Posting
having our video
our
episodes
videos
on YouTube.
of all of our
We
episodes.
don't really know the proper lingo for all of this stuff. This is us producing it also. So if you have like don't be mean because we just will ignore you and we don't really care. We
We
know
are
we're not great at this,
right.
but if you have suggestions and helpful constructive criticism,
Help
we're
a sister
open to
out.
it, but just don't be an asshole because we don't really care. We
Yeah.
have pretty thick skin after being instructors. So,
Not much you're gonna say that's gonna hurt
yeah,
feelers.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Peace out, homie G's.